Okay, guys, I'm actually going to be, make sure you have your paper. I'm actually going to be using a calculator for the sake of time. But for most of you, you need to do these calculations on your own. Volume of a rectangular prism. Um, I have my pad upside down. Okay. Volume is the amount of three-dimensional space occupied by an object. Volume can also be referred to as capacity. Okay, so what we're talking about is the space in between here. If we were to fill this up, like with water or fill it up with whatever, we're talking about the space all inside, not just the surface area. The base of a three-dimensional object names the shape. So a triangular prism, the base is the triangles. A rectangular prism, the base is the rectangles. A prism has two bases which are parallel. Two bases which are parallel to each other. They do not touch. The area of the base is represented by big B, and we've talked about this a little bit already. So let's look at these right here. All we're going to do right now is shade the bases of the prism below, then identify the shape of the base. Now, rectangular prisms are special in that you have three parallel bases. You have this one here, you have this one here, and then you have the back and the front. Okay, so you have three parallel bases. For just the sake of this one here, we're going to just identify the top. So we're going to shade it and the bottom. So the shape of it is a rectangle. So I can write down rectangle. And then big B would be just your normal, your base times your height, which you know how to do that already. So we would just go on this one here, it would be 4.5 times 9. So 4.5 times 9, and that's 40.5 centimeters squared. Okay, so let's identify it here. Let's do the top and the bottom. So that's a 7 by 16. So the shape is a rectangle. And that would be 7 times 16, which is 112 yards squared. And what about this one? Well, this is a square, and you know that because everything is 8.5. So let's just do the top. Here's our bases. The bottom, and this is a square. And so that would be 8.5 times 8.5, which is 72.25 meters squared. Finding volume can be determined by finding the area of the base and multiplying it by the height. Okay, so the formula can be written as volume equals big B times H. V stands for volume. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Oops. There we go. Big V is volume of the prism. Our V is volume of the prism. Big B is area of the base. And H is height of the prism. Okay, so let's move on down and do some practice problems. So, oops, there we go. Okay, so the formula, volume equals big B times H. Now let's just plug in the values. Well, first we need to do 15 times 10. So that's going to be my base equals 15 times 10. So my base equals 150. So volume equals 150 times what's my height? 12. There you go. So you have to do some calculations of your base before you can just plug it into the formula. So then it's 1,800 feet, and it's going to be cubed. Why is it cubed? Well, because we're taking 1, 2, 3 dimensions. So 3 dimensions would be cubed. When we're taking 2 dimensions, base and height, then we would be squared because 1, 2. Now we have 3 of these feet. Okay, let's do the next one. So our base, we can pick what we want to be our base. I would say let's do this top and then the bottom. So that would be the base is going to equal 21 times 21. Okay. And so our base is going to equal 441 millimeters squared. So our formula is volume equals big B times height. Plug in our values. Volume equals, what's our big B? 441 times our height is 6.1. 6.1. So now we know that our volume equals 2690.1 millimeters cubed. In this problem, it's telling us what our base is. See, it has it shaded. So we know our base equals 4 times 2. So our base equals 8 inches squared. Volume equals big B times height. Plug in our values. Volume equals 8 times, and what's our height here? 9 1/4. 9 1/4. If you were doing that in decimals, you could do 9.25. That would work. So our volume equals 74 inches cubed. Okay, let's do the next part. The rectangular prism below has a volume. Okay, so volume equals big B times H. We know the volume. The volume is 408. Can we figure out anything else? Well, it doesn't look like we have a height, but it looks like we can get this base down here. So we can say 3.4 times 8 and get our big B. Okay, so 3.4 times 8 is 27.2. So now we know, let's plug this in, 27.2 times H is going to equal this volume. So this is just a 6th grade equation. Divide by 27.2 because we're solving for H. Divide by 27.2. Divide by 27.2. And we have 408 divided by 27.2. And our answer is 15 15 inches. 15 inches would be our height. Okay, let's do the next one. Again, you need to ask yourself, what are you solving for? Use your understanding of volume to determine the missing dimensions in the rectangular prism. Well, we already know the volume. So the volume is 2736. Okay. Oh, this one's even trickier. We know the height. So you have your base, and your base is going to be your base is going to be your uh base times height, base times height, and then that's going to be times your height. Okay, so let's again plug it in. 2736, and then our base times height is, well, we don't know. It's 1 times something, and then times our h is 24. Okay, so 1 times something, and then times our h is which is 24. That's what equals this. So again, we can just solve this equation. Divide by 24, divide by 24, and we get 2736 divided by 24 is 114. That doesn't work right. Let's see. Okay, so we want to do this times this. That would give us our big B. Oh, this was tricky. This was tricky. This is feet. Oh, this was a really good one. How, and this is in inches. So we need to change this. Do you guys know how many inches are in a feet? You can use your formula chart, and it'll tell you 12 inches equals a foot. So this should have been 12. There we go. So 12x. So let's divide by 24, and we get 114 equals 12x. There we go. And then we take that divided by 12, and we get 9.5. So our x equals 9.5. That was a tricky one. Okay, we're going to stop it there. You don't need to worry about doing the bottom for right now because you'll get practice during your practice time.